What's up, my Finna loves? It's Miss Finna D coming to you all from Finna Entertainment News. Now, I've been wanting to record this video for a few days now, and every time that I, attempt to record it, something else will come up. But, different news about Michelle Williams were just released today, so it makes sense to just incorporate all of them in one. So most of you are aware that Michelle Williams, was engaged, and, she had a reality TV show on her own network. Chad Loves Michelle, with her now ex-fiance, everything in the love department in her career. She was just on Broadway, and she just released a new song called Fearless. Like, everything seems to be going well for her. But most of you are aware, before all of this happened, she checked herself into treatment a few months ago. I'm not going to put those messages on the screen. I can also link that video in the description below, or you can go through my channel and find it if I don't link it below about why she went to treatment. But in the nutshell, in the brief summary, she suffered from depression, okay? And so she checked herself into treatment, but she was there for only a short amount of time, because she said while she was there, people found out the location that she was there, and it just became stressful when it was a big mess. So when she was in there, she wasn't in there for a long time, and she had to leave. But when she went in there, she was already engaged to Chad. Most of the time you hear the vows, right? In sickness and in health and all of that. But she didn't have to be his wife for him to be there for her in sickness and in health, so from what we've seen and heard and everything, he held it down with her and for her and took care of her and was there for her. The problem is, from what I've witnessed, I want to talk about Michelle first, and then I'm going to talk about Chad. Michelle, however, called off her engagement a few days ago. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and read what she posted on social media when she called off her engagement. She wrote, "I still remain fearless. I guess I still remain single. Things didn't work out. The healing that needs to take place is a must. I don't want to destroy another relationship. Blessings to him, his family, and ministry. #fearless," which is a new song. "I still remain fearless. I don't know the future. Sorry to disappoint everyone. We are no longer together." All right. So those were her messages on social media. Chad didn't get into any of that. It looks like Michelle was the one who pulled the plug. What he did was he posted, songs that he was basically going to, to find comfort. So I'm going to go ahead and post his song choices on the screen right here. So this is, since the breakup, this is like his only, anything on social media. He still have all of their pictures on social media. He took a social media break. I'm going to go to his page and do a screen record. It's still all about Chad and Michelle. Her images are everywhere. Michelle, however, completely wiped him off of social media. Now, just because someone wiped you off their social media doesn't mean they've wiped you out of their life. But, he's completely gone. There's absolutely no trace of him on her social media page. All right. Now, from watching their show and following Michelle after all of these years, one of the things is that self-esteem, right? Self-esteem, loving who you are. You hear, what's his name? RuPaul, the guy you get from RuPaul Drag Race, always his saying is, if you can't love yourself, how you know how you're gonna love anybody else, and that's really true. That's really true. If and Michelle, going through all of her ups and downs and her battles and all of that, every day is work. Every day is work. And then here comes Chad. He's great, he's amazing, all of that. If you watch their show, one of the episodes, his sister, just sounded so selfish. I saw where she was coming from, but she was talking like how she feels like she's losing her brother. She was talking about her brother like her brother was her man. as if like he did not deserve to have a life and a happy life and a wife and have his own life. And I really want to see, her face now, the fact that her brother is single again. It's like, are you happy now? She was talking about, you used to be here for us, now you're not here anymore, you just disappeared. And it's like, girl, he's your brother, not your man. So, with that added pressure, then he's also a minister, okay? He's a chaplain and, behind the scenes for football players and all of that. But he's also a pastor. And he was looking forward to actually opening his own church and having like a base and not just, going from place to place ministering to the youth. He's been in the business for over 20 plus years, but he was looking for that foundation, possibly opening his own church and all of that. So now you have that pressure from family. Then now you have this pressure of becoming a first lady of a church. So it's not about you anymore. It's such a huge responsibility for someone who's mentally, trying to get back to themselves and recover and go through all of that. So she just felt all of this pressure. And, I just think she's just in the headspace, look, I want to be in a relationship, want to be in love. I don't want to be challenged on that level right now. And Michelle, I'm sure she's been challenged after all of these years of being, in the industry and all of that, and the bullying and all of that. So, I'm really praying for her, because even though she said that she would never do that to herself as far as taking her own life, she said the thoughts have crossed her mind. So I'm definitely keeping her lifted in my prayers. But, I don't think this breakup was his call. He wants to be there for her. He wants to love her. But how can someone be there for you and love you if you don't think you're worthy enough? She used that word a lot on that show, being worthy enough. Basically, in a nutshell, I'm not saying Chad is perfect, but here comes this loving, intelligent man of God that is just present for Michelle, loving on her, letting her know that she's more than enough, letting her know that he chooses her, letting her know that he's willing to work hard on their relationship so that their marriage, when they do decide to get married, that it lasts forever. And Michelle, on the other hand, is beating herself up, not thinking that she's worthy enough for this man. She's thinking he's young, he's attractive, he's a man of God, he needs a wife that's, going to be mentally stable, that's not going to, have another episode every few weeks or every few months. He does not need that stress in his life. He deserves to go on out there and be with somebody great. But Michelle, you are his greatness. He said it. That's how he feels about you. With all of your ups and downs or things you think that are flaws, he's embracing you, flaws and all. So stop pushing your blessing away. You know what I'm saying? And stop making all of these excuses like he needs to go and be with someone. He knows all of that, but yet he still chose you. So regardless of what Chad did behind the scene, this is bigger than Chad. Let me just put that out there, because I don't want people saying, but Vina, she doesn't want him, so why are you saying? This is bigger than Chad. I'm just using him as an example. It's bigger than Chad, as in she needs to stop making decisions for people and feeling like she's not worthy. So my biggest prayer is for Michelle to look in the mirror and know that she's worthy and that she's more than enough. And that if a man comes in her life and is willing to do all of those things for her, let him. He had options, yet he chose you. Yet he got down one knee and put a ring on it. You know what I'm saying? Yet he's willing to do all of these things to build with you. So stop allowing the devil to come in and win and all of that. In her message, you could clearly read it. She said, I'm not trying to ruin another relationship. The healing process has to happen. So I get it. Okay, you know what? Maybe she broke up with him to work on herself, to fully heal And maybe once she's fully healed, she can commit to a relationship. But she also did not want to drag him along. And she also did not want that pressure of, I have to heal quickly. I have to be happy. I have to have good days for my man. So it's like, okay, Chad, you are free to go and do whatever you want to do. When and if I'm fully healed, when I return, if you are available, then it was meant to be. But if and when I return and you have moved on your life with somebody else, then it wasn't meant to be. She just don't want to be tied down while she goes through this process. She just wants to focus on her and heal. And I completely understand, because when you're in a relationship, no matter how much your partner say, I understand, I love you, I'm here for you, nobody wants someone who constantly cry, whine, and break down every day. That person wants some happy days too, regardless of them saying, I understand your position, I understand your situation, I empathize with you. That person still want to break. And Michelle feels like, you know what? If I'm by myself and I feel like I don't want to get out of bed today, I don't have to feel that pressure that I have to get up. I have to go out. I have to smile. I have to do all of these things because I have someone else in my life that I have to cater to their feelings and to their needs. This way I can just focus on me, be fully committed to me and me alone, and heal at my own pace. And for that, I respect her. So I have to add that part now, because I don't want you guys to think, here I am putting this Chad person on the pedestal and it's all Michelle's fault. No, I'm going off what left her own mouth on the show about not feeling worthy enough. And yes, she also did complain that she felt like, she wasn't measuring up to his fantasy. But those were her feelings that she was projecting on him. All right. But it's just in general. Once she gets fully healed and start to understand and see and accept her worth, she will do amazing things. So I'm absolutely wishing Michelle the best. And also, too, people talking about, he was, too unsure about the engagement. You don't get to take off your ring a few times, call off your engagement, but then want to get mad when the man say, I'm not ready. Say it was okay for you to take off your ring, call up the engagement, wanted him to accept that and be okay with that and still date you while he waited for you to change your mind, put the ring back on. But now that you have the ring back on and he's not ready, now it's a problem. I'm talking about on their show, because he was up and down. I don't blame that man reaction at all. Most people look at the dress and the big day and the food and the family and friends and celebration. But at the end of the day, you have people who want to be in it to win it, and they're looking at forever and not the dress and the celebration. They're looking at forever. Can this last forever? So I commend him for wanting to do the work before just jumping in a marriage, and especially with someone who is quick to be like, you know what, I don't want you no more, have a nice life. For someone who goes from, I love you today, and then tomorrow we're not together anymore, and wiped all trace of you, off. And I'm not going to base, the social media stuff. We don't know what happened behind the scene. Now, that's my point of view on Michelle. It's not all on Michelle though. Chad could be, harsh and difficult at times. You did see that he was coming from a place of love and protection and all of that. But sometimes Michelle felt like he was being too hard on her. She felt like he, was being her caretaker instead of her man, because of the, but in his defense, he basically was there for her as far as, take your medication on time, drink your water like a doctor, order, eat your food. I mean, he was cooking, he was doing everything based on what we saw on the show. What I do see is that I'm not excusing some of his behaviors. You know, he have flaws. Michelle also have them, okay? But from what I have seen from the episodes and everything, I just feel like she just refused to just let that man love her. Like, girl, you are worthy of someone loving you, someone being there for you, someone taking care of you. You deserve all of that. And hopefully, after her healing process, like some deep-rooted healing process, and not just, celebrities go to rehab for 5 days and it's like, oh, I'm out. Like, no, some deep rooted healing process that they can either find their way back to each other, but it's not about finding her way back to Chad or vice versa. It's finding her way back to her. You know what I'm saying? And so that's my biggest prayer for Michelle. Also, too, Michelle was on Broadway, okay, keeping herself busy on Broadway, and with everything that she was doing, the reality TV shows and the judgment from that and all of that, this right here was released today. So I'm gonna go ahead and read a caption. I'm gonna just do a brief summary. On the channel Instagram page, I wrote, most of you are aware that Michelle Williams called off her engagement to Fiance Pastor Chad Johnson a few days ago. Swipe to read those messages, which I just read to you all. Now she's being told to take a break from work. Via Daily Mail, Michelle Williams is taking a leave of absence from her role in her Broadway show Once on This Island. All right, it's a Tony-winning production. She was advised by her doctors to take a break from the show, effective immediately, the show producers said in a statement. Okay, she will be replaced. So there it is in a brief summary. Michelle is being advised by her doctors to take a break, and she needed just a break from everything, social media, relationship, and just go somewhere and just rest and get healed. She's very blessed to have her music going and other businesses going, where financially she can take this long break and just take care of herself. She just released her new song, Fearless. Like I said, she's been promoting that heavy on social media and all of that. But at this point, baby, just, let your song go on and play and all of that. But just take your time and heal, because one of her battles were, even getting out of bed in the morning was a battle, and she felt like being able to get up every day, she wanted that to also be acknowledged. So she's really going through it, man, but I'm going to continue to keep Michelle lifted in my prayers. And yeah, so that's about it. I'm wishing her well, honestly. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here, my final loves. I'm wishing you all an amazing day. Thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn notifications so when I do post your way that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.